Cheers.
Get your elbow out of here.
Lefty. All right. Welcome back to Nightcaps and Recaps, second one. And this time this is actually coffee at, 9 o'clock at night because I need the energy. It's caffeinated. It's going to be a bad decision later when I try to go to bed, but that's all right.
This is flat.
Yes, so 3 tips, things we did wrong, things we should do better. 3
Just stuff.
3 things.
3 stuffs.
3 stuffs. For this, the insulation wall build. First off, we did biscuits and pocket screws, as we talked about. And to reiterate, there's lots of ways to join your walls. I think we read up that like spline joint would probably be the best, but
I don't have the tool to do a spline joint. I didn't want to buy the tool to do a spline joint. I had access to a biscuit joiner.
and we know how to do pocket screws and can do that. So
biscuit joiner is what we did.
that's what we did.
Use the tools you got.
Whatever you're doing, just make sure you're planning it out. So with the first wall, we didn't cut any holes through the seams. James didn't want to do that. And while we're doing it, we're like, hey, we need to remember on the second wall, we're going to cut a window out.
It's going to be a window.
That will cut out part of the seam. We should remember that.
We didn't.
We didn't.
Didn't.
So
then I got to cut out a biscuit.
So we put in a biscuit and then cut out a biscuit and had to move a pocket screw and
It's fine.
It's fine.
I had a little bit of time, but just remember to plan ahead.
So yeah.
Each part of it.
We felt really good that we planned like how far we were going to space them. Like we were meticulous with like where they were measured out and how we were going to put them and how many pocket screws we were going to put in and where. And then
Oops.
The thing that kind of went wrong is, so we put it together and we have microphones. They might not even hear that. You're just giggling over nothing. We live on a busy road. We'll find out in editing if you could hear that really noisy.
Someone has a very bad truck.
James judges you by your car noise.
I know what's wrong with your car when you drive by my house, and I will tell Kristen, who won't care.
Maybe I'll edit this out, maybe I won't. Who knows? Okay, so what was I saying? Seams, putting the boards together, and then we're doing the biscuits and the pocket screws, and we couldn't keep them in line. Even the second one, when we thought we knew we had to do it better, sliding around a little bit.
So the boards are not the perfectest boards. We bought them from a big box hardware store, and so they each had kind of their own curve to it. And the biscuits straightened them out, but I think I underestimated how much like the very end of the board was going to twist. And so there's one spot on each.
Got it.
So there's one spot on each that just isn't perfectly aligned. I think I maybe would have put a biscuit closer to the very like end of the board, and that maybe would have helped. And then a better working surface, because we were kind of propped up on sawhorses with 2x4s, and if I had the space, the time, and the ability to build just a bit table that was the size of the wall, that would be perfect. But working with what we got, it's not a big deal. We can fix it with sanding and a little bit of extra work, but
yeah,
it'll be okay.
Very good. Third thing, it's not really a tip. It's not really something we did wrong, but kind of both of those things.
Something to think about before you start.
So when we put the walls up, and they're just dry fit right now, they'll come back down to finish some of the work. The front curve, we realize it goes about a good foot out at maximum, and we realize it eats up a bunch of the tongue space. We realized the tongue on this trailer that we're demoed, repurposing.
Not super long.
Not super long to begin with. We did not think about that till we put the walls up and realized how much of the tongue space this curve took out. So we have more than 2 feet, but less than 2.5 feet of tongue left. And we got a 5 to 6 foot, 6 foot
so
tow vehicle.
Really would want the 3 feet between the front of the trailer and the tow vehicle.
We would prefer the teardrop not to hit the tow vehicle when we're driving. Our car. It sounds more like professional when you're like tow vehicle. Yeah, and thinking about it, we probably wouldn't have changed it even if we would have realized this beforehand. We like the shape.
Yeah.
To get storage and to fit us and the two kids, we're putting a lot of storage in that headboard. So it works. We'll probably just end up buying a hitch extender. Looking at the tongue and us not being great welders and not wanting to mess with it, we don't think we're going to extend the tongue at all. It just doesn't seem practical at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra fabrication too, instead of just buying a.
Yeah, so we'll buy a hitch extender, which will help us not hit the car. It will be a bummer because it'll probably be harder to back up and maneuver that way with the short length. And so the hitch extender is not going to help with that maneuverability. But
yeah,
that's what we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So just didn't think about tongue length when we were looking at trailers.
Yeah. Oh well.
It is what it is. Bonus tip on how to get your teardrop done faster.
Yes.
We have uncovered the secret.
If you want to speed up your production time, the best thing you can do is to quit your jobs, isolate yourselves completely from society. And
ship your kids off to boarding school or grandpa and grandma's if they're too young for boarding school.
Yep. Or if you can, just ignore them. But that's not as good, not ideal.
And don't have a social life.
Yeah. So we've taken some time between finishing the walls and making this video because of life, like graduation parties and the holidays and anniversaries and all fun stuff. But it just meant that teardrop was lower priority.
Lots of great friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of teardrop.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll be able to get back to it and get some good work done on it. So
yep.
That is all.
That's it.
What we got?
It's everything you need to know.
Lefty.
Cheers. Don't spill them.
Get out of here. Good night.
Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
We made a poopy.
That's not it. Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
I can't say that.
No, okay.
We're building a camper.
Perfect.